before and after the pandemic, I see a surge in the level of anxiety. I'm not sure if this 2 years of break from entire life and from the society has played any role in that, but certainly the level of anxiety has gone up.
Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where to From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe. Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Where to From Here. Today we're going to COMO Shambhala in Bali to speak to Prasanth Vayanakathu, who is a distinguished Ayurvedic expert and wellness manager at COMO Shambhala estate in Ubud in Bali in the jungle. This is one of the world's most popular wellness retreats and popular with anyone wanting to reflect and reboot their life. When I was last there, I met a woman celebrating her 40th. There was another couple celebrating their wedding anniversary, another woman celebrating her 50th, and there was even a couple there getting their marriage back together. It really is and is continually rated as one of the best wellness retreats literally on the planet. It was created by Christina Ong, who is the founder of the wellness brand COMO, which again is just been around, I think, more than 22 years. She founded it, and it is really a group of 22 luxury hotels that all have this huge wellness and health component, so that when you go away, wherever you go in the world, just at her hotels, you come back feeling better than when you left. But Prasanth has over 25 years experience and a Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences from Mangalore University in India. He specializes in integrative medicine that blends Ayurvedic science with naturopathy. He's renowned for creating personalised wellness programs, focusing on detoxification, rejuvenation, stress management, and holistic healing through Ayurvedic nutrition, body therapies, yoga, herbal medicines, and Marma therapy. His approach emphasizes balance and longevity, aligning perfectly with the serene, nature-immersed sanctuary of COMO Shambhala, where ancient wisdom meets modern luxury to offer profound healing experiences. Prasanth, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ms. Renae. It's very absolute pleasure for me to be here talking to your audience about the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda.
Thank you. Well, look, my first question, you've spent your life studying Ayurveda, one of the world's oldest continuous systems of medicine, which is believed to be around 5,000 years old. How relevant is it in today's world?
In fact, I would say Ayurveda is more relevant today than when it originated, because Ayurveda plays utmost importance for the three layers of human existence, that is body, mind, and soul, which are inseparable. And every illness that appears on your body has a root in your mind. So you can imagine the crazy lifestyle.
Hang on. Every illness in your body has a root in the mind.
Yes.
That's the basis of Ayurveda.
Yes, absolutely. That I would say one of the foundation principles of Ayurveda. And in this 21st century lifestyle where everyone is having no time at all to do even the things that they enjoy, and the mind going everywhere, what we call in Ayurveda as the air mind, leading to many physical and psychological.
In your mind, just hang on. These things you're saying are so interesting. So there's an air mind, you call it in Ayurveda, where the mind is going everywhere. Because we don't have time, we're also busy to do the things that we want to do. And surely the phones and the digital world is feeding into this air mind as well?
Absolutely. Getting information overload and getting continuously exposed to a lot of information from everywhere. It is a norm of the day for 21st century. I think the Ayurveda has a more important role to play now than about 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you must be very happy to see that here in Australia, in South Australia, in fact, or Australia-wide, I beg your pardon, they have banned social media for kids under 16. So at least that's one step forward, right?
Absolutely. I think that is a really good way. I think other parts of the world also should follow because it is much more addictive for kids below 16 years of age. And beyond that age, you develop some kind of self control. And if you force kids to extensively to the social media, I think that can ruin their life entirely. And at a point, I have seen in other countries, like in India, where I am from, kids getting addicted and also being taken to de-addiction, cyber de-addiction centers, which is absolutely a really sad thing to see. And I think Australia is following.
Yeah, interesting. No, I know that you can eat meat under Ayurveda. I've been to numerous health retreats, including COMO Shambhala a couple of times, and I haven't yet met you, but I've had that analysis. You know, there's four different, you can explain it, there's four different categories that Ayurvedic medicine puts you into, right? And some of them are, you can eat meat, some you can't. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this actually brings your question brings me to the foundation principle of Ayurveda, which is called three dosha theory. The uniqueness of Ayurveda is the concept that no one size fits all. Everything is specific to what we call your dosha, which is your body and mind constitution. If you ask me right away what is good food for you or what is bad for you, I have no answer until I know your dosha. So it becomes very important to know your dosha and design your food, your lifestyle, and your activities accordingly. Even when we select an activity, for example, a meditation for someone, we select the right type of meditation which is good for their dosha type. I'll give you an example. An air mind in Ayurveda is a wavy mind, constantly traveling, cyclically thinking mind, just like physical air. And if they try to do a non-guided meditation of longer duration, they mostly fail because the speed of their mind is too fast to go with a non-guided meditation and their thought goes out of the practice. Whereas a breathing-based flowing meditation would be good for it.
And a lot of people right now would be air because ADHD is on the rise. Kids, adults, and yes, an ADHD mind would be an air mind, yeah?
Absolutely. ADHD comes under the aggravation of air condition, which is an air dominant personality. And as you rightly said, the general concept or general tendency is people moving more towards air aggravated condition. And I think that is causing a lot of not only health problem, social problems also.
Yes. And what are the different doshas? Just tell me the different ones.
In English, they are called air, fire, and water, correspondingly called in Ayurveda as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha.
Yes. I'm trying to think which one I was. I was the one that was very hot, the hot one.
That was second Pitta.
Pitta. Yes. Yes. So what do I have to sum me up in a few words just so people can understand what you're talking about? If I'm Pitta, what does that mean?
Pitta means it is a fire dominant personality. The dosha type can be divided into on your body and on your mind. Pitta on body are to be very wakeful about what they eat because Pitta is the dosha that governs your digestive and metabolic functions. Also, a Pitta personality, if they are not very wakeful and eat food according to their dosha type, they may more likely experience issues related to their digestion, metabolism, right from mild issues like hyperacidity, maybe acid reflux, or a little more serious like irritable bowel syndrome, liver-related issues, pancreas-related issues, etc. And Pitta or mind, they are generally very structured, organized, and also rational. I mean, they apply their logic in general. And
Are you trying
I
to
would
say that I'm irrational? I'm not irrational.
And actually, there can be a combination. Like if you are a dual type, most people are a dual dosha type. That means
Yes.
if you are a Pitta dominant, you also may have a second dosha that would be, I think, your dosha, if I remember well, was Vata or air. So if you are Pitta Vata, we will show more features of Pitta, closely followed by Pitta's Vata, that is air, and less features of Kapha, which is water. So most people, I would say about 95% of the population are dual dosha type, having the number one and number two doshas at very close proximity.
Interesting. And at COMO Shambhala, because I know you literally attract people from every corner of the world and a huge return rate. Some 70% of guests who go there once go again. I know, as I said, I've been 2 or 3 times. I love it. I just think it's wonderful. What are the unusual things that guests are presenting with at the moment to you? What are the challenges? What's going on? What's new? What is making you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this?
Uh, this is a great question. Thank you for asking this. If you ask me to pick the biggest category of health concern that guests have now, is certainly related to their sleep and level of anxiety. I do not know when I
Sorry,
compare
sleep
my
and
anx-
anxiety.
anxiety. And when I compare my practice as an Ayurvedic doctor before and after the pandemic, I see a surge in the level of anxiety. I'm not sure if this 2 years of break from entire life and from the society has played any role in that, but certainly the level of anxiety has gone up. That actually is, I would say, the one of the most challenging concerns that most of our guests has. And again,
Right. Why are we all so anxious? What's going on?
uh,
I mean,
pro-
geopolitically, right? Geopolitically, the world is upside down. We've got wars going on, very outspoken politicians doing crazy things. Is it just that, or is there a lot more to it?
certainly, I think political things play a big role in that, because whatever happens in one part of the world certainly affects everywhere, economically, socially, in every manner. Other point would be, I think, as we discussed earlier, overuse of internet. I mean, you either get anxious or depressed. I mean, they make you to do something which you do not want, or they make you feel that you are deprived of something but others have. So these kind of things always happen when you constantly interact with social media and constantly also get some false information through that. Another point will be the overall speed of life has gone up. I would say the speed of life would have fast forwarded into 2 times, and most people are trying to find it difficult to shut down, recharge, reset these things. If you ask me, the common wellness
But hang
goals
on, hang on. Why has life sped up to at least twice the speed? What factors have led to that in the Western world?
that I think probably would be one reason would be the 2 years that has gone down on speed. I think it's like everyone has to now finish a lot of things they were not able to in those 2 years of lockdown, etc. That certainly must have played a role. I mean, if you look at the company wise, most companies have increased their targets and increased their, to compensate with what they've lost in 2 years. I think that plays a role, though it is not. I don't know whether it is studied well, but in my personal experience, while interacting with my guests, I think they have to compensate for slowing down for 2 years, which they did not want. Now they have to compensate by increasing their speed and productivity. I think that is one thing.
Yeah.
That means
It makes sense. I mean, what you're saying is logical and it makes sense. So, the next question, because I speak to a lot of people about retreats, and one of the big trends is fasting. There are many people that believe it's incredible, particularly if you have tumors, cancer tumors, fasting. But even if you don't, fasting for 72 hours, even in your home environment, is said to be really great to reset the mind. How does Ayurveda view fasting then?
Ayurveda certainly gives importance for fasting, but again, that is connected to your dosha type. Every dosha type cannot fast. I give you an example. If you are a water dominant person, you tend to be on the larger side of body frame, and most of your body weight is contributed by fat. Your percent in modern terminology, your percent body fat would be about 25, 30, or even more. They can go for a long fasting. We even advocate them to have a fasting with minimal juices and water. That is fine, like 3 days or even more. For a pitta person, especially pitta highly aggravated person, should not do a fasting more than 14 hours. I mean, their maximum time they keep away from food should be 14 hours because of the excessive tendency of acid production in their body. If they do not eat for longer time, this acid, instead of digesting the food, start digesting your own stomach cells or walls of stomach. It can lead to ulceration. So a pitta, long fasting is not advocated. Maximum window of fasting should be 14 hours. Whereas an air type person, depending upon whether they lead, because air generally has a lean body frame and their metabolism is very high, normally they do not need fasting. So again, coming back to the point, fasting is totally decided based upon what dosha we are dominant. Water type or kapha type are ideal to do fasting.
It's quite complicated. It's not a yes or no answer with Ayurveda, is it? It really does depend on you. As you said this at the beginning of the interview, that it really is tailored to the individual.
Yes, exactly.
Mm. So I think I need to come and see you. And what about aging and longevity? I mean, now everyone wants to live forever. I was coming to work this morning, and on the radio they had this interview, and a man was talking about just how incredibly young middle-aged women and how good middle-aged women are looking now because they're looking after themselves, they're exercising, they're dressing better, they're having Botox in the Western world, they're doing various things to look as young as they can. But what's the role of Ayurveda in helping us stay as young and fit as possible?
Certainly, there are specialized treatments in Ayurveda to greatly slow down your aging process. Ayurveda do not use the word anti-aging because aging is natural for every living being. It's more like a graceful aging and slowing down the rate of aging. There are techniques for that. Most of them are internal because in Ayurveda, the health and beauty from inside out. So you have to adjust your lifestyle and you have to use or eat food that is very good for your body cells to live to their full age. That means every cell of the body has a natural lifespan. For example, your red blood cells live for about 120 days, but unfortunately, most people have their RBCs, red blood cells, dying younger. That can greatly, contribute to your aging or fasten your aging process. So to make your cells to live their full capacity or to push them a little more is how you slow down the aging process. For that, the first thing in Ayurveda is not food. It maybe is replacing that is breathing. So every cell of your body, the main source of energy according to Ayurveda, which is prana, in modern terminology is oxygen. And again, unfortunately, due to many reasons, like living in polluted environments or not breathing deeply, like most people are shallow breathers or shallow to medium breathers. So we need to train ourselves to breathe to the full extent. In other words, we have to bring down our breathing rate to less than 20, certainly less than 20 times in a minute. That means you should not breathe in and out more than 20 times. There's a concept in Ayurveda for aging that Ayurveda believes everyone is born with a certain number of breaths. And the faster
Certain
you
number
use
of what? Certain
breathing,
number of
breathing.
breathing.
Yeah. That's like your fixed deposit in your bank. The faster you use it, the sooner you go bankrupt. Similarly, if you have a rapid breathing, your longevity comes down. If you're slow and deep breathing, you use it slowly so you can use it for a longer time. That means to increase your lifespan in terms of quality and quantity, what you need to do is slow down your breathing.
To breathe slower. And
Yeah.
therefore you slow down your life, right? I mean, just earlier you said we're living, doing things twice as quickly as, just a little while ago as human beings. But if we slow down our breathing, we're going to come back to perhaps a more regular pace, do you think, of life?
Yes, there are specific breathing techniques in Ayurveda, like pranayamas, which can help you to naturally develop a lower breathing rate if you do them regularly. You do not need more than 5 to 10 minutes a day, but the result that they give you will be remarkable. Not only for slowing down your aging, it's also good for calming down your mind, better sleep, better digestion, etc. Because breathing or oxygen is the essence of our energy, of our lifespan.
Sounds incredible. I love the sound of that, slowing things down, because I'm always too busy. Now, I want to ask you an insider secret. Now, Christina Ong, as we know, is the wellness guru. I mean, right now, the concept of wellness and Ayurveda in the Western world is everywhere. But she was, launching it 22 years ago. She was a woman well ahead of her time. But what I want to know, and she looks incredible for her age, and she's got so much energy and is so dynamic. Does she still come up to COMO Shambhala, and do you know her? And does she practice all of this Ayurveda and the things in COMO from time to time?
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, there are many people there who follow the lifestyle of Ayurveda like her and got totally transformed. For me also personally, it was though I have a family background of Ayurveda, but the reason I selected Ayurveda is the transformational power that I experienced when as a child. I had some skin condition which even almost cut down my social life, and I did not want to go to school because of this. And we tried all conventional medicine, which was the best during those days. Did nothing worked, temporarily worked, but then it was Ayurveda who totally changed it, even without a scar. When you look at my hands and my legs, I cannot see even a scar. So this AD or a lot of people, like even I have guests who came here as a guest for Ayurveda and then became an Ayurveda practitioner because they got so much transformed in their health condition. She was a health and a life coach. She wanted to add elements of Ayurveda into her practice. She went to India and learned Ayurveda from there. She was an Ayurveda student, and now she is an Ayurveda practitioner in the US. So this is actually such a life transform. Actually, if you ask me, this is the most rewarding thing and also most reassuring thing for me at the moment that makes me realize that I have chosen the right path. And seeing people like her that you mentioned is absolutely a reassurance for anyone who travels in the path of Ayurvedic journey.
Yeah, interesting. And so when you go away on holidays, where do you go? Do you go back to India to learn more, or do you actually go somewhere completely different? Where do you go on a holiday?
I go to India certainly at least once a year, and sometimes I also go to other places. Now, recently I have started exploring more in Bali because Bali also has a Vedic culture which is very connected with Ayurveda. It was actually surprising for me when I came about 11 years ago to Bali that why there are not many Ayurveda places in Bali, because Ayurveda Bali's energy is very much in line with Ayurvedic energy. Of course, they have their own deep styles of energy healing, spiritual cleansing, etc. So I started going to some gurus. They're not Ayurvedic, but they're the only spiritual gurus, and learn some techniques from them. So this is how I spend my holidays, or even rather off days now mostly. And I also travel to northern parts of India and sometimes to Nepal, where we have some special kind of technique, which I am specialist in. It's called Marma therapy. Marma therapy is an Ayurvedic trigger province therapy. And I continue learning that from some other masters in the northern parts of India or in Nepal. So my focus mainly is on enhancing my spiritual level of practice, because that is the most important dimension of everyone's health according to Ayurveda. It's body, mind, and spirit or soul. So that is where I think the healing becomes more effective when your spiritual energy levels are very high, because you can only give to someone what you have. So it's very important for an Ayurvedic practitioners to keep updating their energy level. That is, I think, I will be focusing more on my travels for enhancing the training on these spiritual techniques.
So you really and truly have dedicated your entire life to Ayurveda, even when you go on holidays.
Absolutely lifelong learning, and it never stops, because of course we need a university graduation to for a license to practice, but I would say it is only a license to practice, and the real learning always starts after you come out of your college and start meeting your patients or guests. I mean, I had almost first half of my career was with Ayurvedic hospitals, where we used to get all types of health condition, including some terminal health conditions. So then I moved to wellness, because I think I can reach to more wide variety of health seekers there. And but it's not big difference. There's no big difference at all, except with the setup, ambience, etc. for where you stay. And this is an ongoing learning. And you, every guest who comes in front of me for my consultation is a chapter in my textbook of learning.
That's amazing. It's fantastic. And look, I have to ask you the question. I could sit here and talk to you all day because there is so much to Ayurveda. Trying to talk about it in half an hour is kind of ridiculous, I acknowledge, but it's just to give our listeners and viewers some insight into what you can do and what Ayurveda can do to help them live their lives. But we ask everyone where to from here. And you might be talking about your next trip away, what you're doing in the next couple of weeks, or what you're doing today. So where to from here for you, Prasanth?
For my trip soon, I will go to India in January. That is again for my to meet my spiritual master. It's on the Himalayan side, and personally, from my experience as an Ayurvedic doctor and also at the COMO Shambhala estate, we are for next year will be a very interesting year for us. We are going to add more variety to our Ayurvedic offering here. We have very good, a wide variety of Ayurvedic treatments here. We are going to expand. We just completed our renovation of the spa. You are welcome to visit us again. And next year there will be more offerings at the on the plate of Ayurveda. I think that is one of my to do this for next year.
Ah, fantastic. I think I will come and see you. I'll be in Bali in January.
Wonderful.
So I would love to come and see you and love to talk to you more and maybe even have a session and
Please,
get your advice on how
please.
Ayurveda can have a better and a bigger impact on my life to breathe slower and be calmer and, live a long life because that's what we all want.
Absolutely. I'm much looking forward to your visit to COMO Shambhala estate.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time today. It is wonderful to meet you. And thank you for everything you're doing for the people that you help, because it's very big and very impactful. And God bless you. I wish you a beautiful day there in Bali.
Thank you very much. And thank you for giving this opportunity to talk to your audience about this ancient wisdom of Ayurveda. And I wish you to a great 2026 and hoping to see you in January here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Prasanth. See you. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.